All right, so a while back I was talking about making a video showing why I like the hand split rather than use a log splitter, and I'm going to do that today. I've got a full cord to sell, and we're going to go to the stave mill. The only thing is that stuff that's there now is not going to be a great wood to kind of do a demonstration on this particular video, because with it, if it's what I'm thinking it's going to be, if it's all real dried out white oak, then the splitter is probably the better way to go. But a lot of the times the white oak that I get from there, or red oak, or lots of other woods I get, maple, anything pretty much I sell around here, I can split much faster by hand than many splitters. Not all splitters, but many. You have to get up into the $10,000 splitters and up to split faster than what I split normally. And I'm not talking about for just a little period of time. I'm talking about throughout the day. Oh no! Oh, wow. No way! Because I had that black top. All right, me and Sonny's here at the stave mill. Look how dry all that wood is. You can tell that wood's dry, can't you, by looking at it? All right, me and Sonny's at the stave mill. You see that wood is a lot drier. And up front there, they've got, they've black topped it, so you can't even come in from that way we normally come in. But thank goodness over there to the side, they had a place where you could come in. I'll show that on the way out. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of this wood is real dry, which makes it a lot harder to split. It's good. It's good because it's seasoned, more seasoned, as you can see. A lot of this is, but it's not easy to split when it's like that. It's actually very tough to split. So me and Sonny's gonna do like a comparison video today, and that'll be a hard one for me because it's just a lot harder to split when it's seasoned like that. But right now we're gonna go ahead and get loaded. It's Labor Day, so I'm guessing they may not be here today. So we're gonna try to get this gate as close as we can, just let it down and row a lot of this off onto it. All right, we're gonna try to back it up right into the pile here so we can kind of row this stuff down. You see how dry that stuff is? Barely clearing that. Stop, a little slow. Little, good right there. All right, so we got it pretty much right up against the pile here now. Some of these I'm actually gonna move out so that we can get the gate down a little more like this one. Look how dry these rounds are that's left at the stave mill. Talk about hard splitting right there. But look how much wood too. That's a lot of wood. All dry. Look how dry all that is. It's like gray colored. Look at that thumbnail. Here's how we're doing it.
Hey, did I get these out here and roll them down to you?
Yeah. Get that pickaroon? That's a good idea. So now we're getting Sonny, he's up there and he's rolling them down. We tried to make it kind of to where they can come to here at least, and I'll grab the pickaroon and pull them in from there. That's a monster there. That works pretty good though. Yeah, like you said, now the pickaroon. Stay like that. All right, there's what we got so far. That did not take very long with me and him together. Well, you can see what we were doing, just kind of going up there, rolling it down. It's a pretty good load. I may put some in the bed too. I don't know, but that's a good load right there. Yeah, but watch, let me push it on down. Yeah, there they come. Starting to look like fall, and part of the reason why is just because we're almost in a drought here in Kentucky, ain't we, Sonny? We ain't got no rain for a while. It's been a couple weeks, I think, since we've had a good rain here. And it's at the beginning of the year in the spring, we got all kinds of rain. But now we haven't had a good rain in probably 2 or 3 weeks. I think this is probably the most wood I've ever seen here at this stave mill though. I don't know if that's where that forklift normally is or if they moved it back. But if that's what it normally is, then it's definitely a lot of wood. No, but he told me there was copperheads in here. Yeah. So I better be careful because I haven't. Got a good load. All right, we got a good load there. I'm gonna show y'all how we got in here because I was kind of devastated when we got here because the main entrance up there is closed off because they got it blacktopped recently and they had something like a line drug across it where you couldn't get through because they're letting it dry. But I don't know if they intentionally made this way to get in and out or if it's just a way, but I'll show you where it's at. Yeah, there it is. So they made it right in between these staves here. You normally can't get in and out this way, I don't think. Looks like they moved these. Or if you can, I didn't realize it. Yeah, I think this is normally blocked, but they may have let this open just where they've got the front entrance up there blocked. But I was glad because we turned around, we passed it and then turned around and came back and I seen this and we were able to get in this way. So you can see it's not a whole lot of space, but it's enough to get in here even with a trailer. Imagine carrying that all the way over here. Oh, that would have been bad. All right, so here it is at home, parked under this big oak tree here so we can have some shade here. But it's probably more than a cord of wood here, I'm guessing, because I piled it up pretty good, but we'll split it and see. Here, put that one over here, and I'll make the wall a little wider over here. All right. Yeah, perfect. That. Yeah. Eating the sawdust, it looks like. All right, so here's what we got set up. I'm gonna be splitting these.
I'm gonna move these four so I can back the trailer up right here. So when I throw them, I can just throw them in the trailer.
Okay, that's fine. And then Sonny's got his pile right here. Not the wood I would normally use for this comparison, like a hand splitting versus a log splitter, because this wood, when it dries out like this, you see how dry this is, it gets very tough. So it's like a different wood. So, I mean, if this was green, it'd be a whole different ballgame. No, hands down, I'd probably about 5 times faster than that. Sonny just tried one of those to practice on. We're about to go ahead and get started. But like I said, this is going to be a tough wood to prove my point in. And my point was why I like hand splitting a lot better than a log splitter. But this is not going to be an easy one to prove that point with, because this is a very seasoned, tough white oak. So I'm going to try. Hey, 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, Sonny, we'll count the pieces of firewood. That's what we'll do. How many have you thrown on there so far? Yeah. All right, here we are doing this comparison. Now, this is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, but I needed somebody that could run the splitter while I split, and I didn't know exactly the best way to set this up, you know, to show it as accurately as I could. We both stayed pretty consistent. He stayed more consistent than I did. It's more taxing for sure when you're hand splitting on the body. He smoked a cigarette, but he kept splitting while he did it. I walked away once and got me and him something to drink because he didn't have nothing with him there. So I went inside, I actually took the time to do that, and he kept splitting while I did that. So that was actually an advantage for him and me in a way, because I got a little bit of a break. I can't now, as far as our energy level, we both loaded this trailer and unloaded it. He actually did more of the unloading than I did. I was kind of ripping the rounds with my saw while he did that. But this wood is not an easy wood. This would not be my first choice to do this comparison, you know, a man versus a log splitter. there's many variables that come in on this. The axe you're using, the wood you're splitting, the log splitter, how fast it is, the hydraulic splitter, and then the skill levels of both individuals. Now, it doesn't really take a whole lot of skill to do either one of these things, honestly. Of course, there's things that will help you with both, with the log splitter or doing it by hand. But this wood is not an easy one to split when it's seasoned like this. They told me at the stave mill, somebody told me that they had got that chipper now, and that a lot of the wood that was coming, or that used to come out, would not be coming out anymore, that they were planning everything that came out from now on, they were planning to chip. And I can see the truth of that, because every time that I go, I see no evidence of fresh wood, really. It's all seasoned wood. The end is checked, it's dark, it's compressed, and that's when white oak gets tough. It gets really tough. It's a whole different ball game than red oak. Red oak is an absolute pleasure to split. So if I had something like red oak or even black locust and some maples and stuff like that, I think I'd run circles around this particular log splitter. Now, there are other log splitters that I've said this many times before, and I know this based on my experience is how I know this, because I've rented log splitters in the past. I wouldn't have a splitter now if Steve wouldn't have gave it to me, but I am very thankful for that splitter, because it is great when the weather's really hot or when the wood's really tough, which this wood is. This is really tough wood when it's seasoned. It is not easy by any means, but I won't say too much. I'll let you see the results at the end. But if, like I said, if I had an easier wood like red oak, some maples, as long as it's not too twisted, because some maple is horrible when it's twisted, black locust, things of that nature, even some hickories I've done, depending on whether they're green or seasoned, I could have went a lot faster than I did here. But I tried to stay pretty consistent. Every now and then I would sit down on a round. I've done that for years, sat down on rounds every now and then when I get tired, and I'll let my heart rate come down. I'll literally feel my heart rate coming down and hear it, because my heart's beating so fast. Hand splitting firewood is a very good workout for you, and I believe that saying a body in motion stays in motion has a lot of truth to it. Just like a vehicle, if you let your vehicle sit for a long time and you don't run it and get some oil flowing through it and getting the motor running, get the gears moving, it wears out quicker. It's bad on it, it's hard on it. It's kind of the same with our bodies, I believe. We've got blood veins, we've got blood vessels, we've got arteries, we've got our organs, our heart, our muscles, our tendons. All that stuff needs to be moved every now and then. Now, I think there's also a time for rest, just like the Lord obviously knew that we would need that, and he wanted that for us. That's why he gave us the Sabbath day to rest. 6 days thou shalt labor, on the seventh day thou shalt rest. So I think there's a season for it all, and we can listen to our bodies a lot of time. I've pushed so many times over the years, just like other people have. I'm not saying that in a bragging way, but I'm saying there's been times too where I felt like I was pushing too far, or I felt like I was about to have a heat stroke. And I'll say this, pretty much every time I've ever done that has been in the heat. It's because when you're working in the heat, it's a whole different ball game. The high for this day was around 82 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still pretty warm. That's why I tried to set us up under this big oak tree here. Now, Sonny stayed consistent the whole time. You see me there, I'm taking a break. That's what I'm doing there. And I do that numerous times. I let my heart rate come down a little bit. I'm not a machine, but I'm faster than that particular machine. Even though I get tired, and it doesn't, I'm a lot faster than it. But at the end, I'll let you see the results of that. It doesn't get tired, but I'm a lot faster. And at the end, I'll let you see the results of who gets more. Because people have asked me for years, why don't you get a log splitter? You need a log splitter. I've heard some men say you have to have a log splitter to have a firewood business. That I know that's not true, because I have now for the past 7 years purely by hand splitting. Until this year, I got a splitter. And there's been times before where I rented one for some really bad oak before for like a day. But I know that's not true. So when I hear things like that, it just makes me think, well, that's very untrue. Maybe you have to have it. And maybe it makes sense for you. There's many variables that comes down to whether it would work better for you to have a splitter or by hand or whatever. And I'll say this, for me to be justified in using a log splitter, unless the wood is extremely tough, which is like some of this oak when it gets really seasoned, which a lot of this was right here, honestly. A lot of this was. And even then, I feel I'm much faster by hand still, though it's a lot more taxing on the body. The only woods I could really see justifying me, compared to that splitter there at least, is like stuff like sycamore and stuff like that, which I know better than to mess with now unless it's seasoned, because sycamore is the opposite of oak. Oak is easier when it's green. Sycamore is way harder when it's green. It's easier when it's seasoned. So the only thing that really justifies it for me is if I had a really expensive log splitter, like a $10,000 log splitter and up, something around that. I'm guessing based on the ones that I've seen online and the prices on them. Steve Wesolowski has a fast log splitter, and I still believe in the right woods. Maybe not this particular wood here, this white oak that's seasoned like this. Maybe not in this, but I believe in lots of woods, I would outsplit that splitter. And I think it's got like a 4.5 second cycle time or something of that nature. But that's not everybody. Everybody's different. It comes down to the axe, the axeman, the shape that you're in, your experience, and then the log splitter as well. All that is variables. But for me, it doesn't make sense to use a log splitter unless it's really tough wood, or sometimes when the heat's really bad, because it's a lot more taxing on the body when it's hot out and you're doing this. It is no fun at all. This summer has been a hot one. It's been in the 90s, and it has not been fun to split firewood. And I've split quite a bit. I've split cords of wood in the summer heat, but it's not been fun. I've not enjoyed it. Even today was not a cool day. It was, like I said, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. But I'll let you watch near the end kind of the results of this. We split for the same amount we kept it going at least the same amount of time, but Sonny actually split more consistent than me because, like I said, it's less taxing on the body. He didn't have to take breaks like I did. And so all that comes into effect. You've got to take all that into effect. But even with the breaks and everything, I split a lot faster. He obviously doesn't get tired with that machine as easily. So all these things are things that take into effect. Whatever works for you is what works in the end. And I've known for years already, based on my experience, because I've rented splitters, what works better for me and what doesn't. Though I do see where other people are coming from when they ask me, why are you doing this? Why are you beating on that wood? Why don't you have a log splitter? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I've even had some people say, why don't you bring the log splitter here and do this? And because for one, I'm a lot faster by hand. And for another thing, the way that I split a lot of times, I split it at the site and then load it. So I don't have to worry about handling the wood as much. But here we are getting to near the end of it, and I'm going to let this play out, and I'll let you see the results of this. A video I've been wanting to do for a long time. This wood right here is not in my favor for this video. Like I said, if I had some easier splitting woods, I would have split a lot more. But I don't want to make any excuse or anything. I'm just being honest. I'll let this play out, and you can see the results of us splitting for that same time frame, even though he split more consistent than I did.
That's a lot of wood. Whew. It's a workout, buddy. I'm telling you one thing, that season right there, compared to green, there's no comparison. Way harder to split. I gotta count this stuff. It's gonna take a little while because Sonny got a bunch too. And we got these left. I don't think we need them for the load though. Here's what Sonny's got on there. He got a bunch. So he's probably got close to half a trailer load. Close to it. And then I don't know who's got more honestly, but we're gonna count and see. So I'll start counting these and throwing them up there in the front. And then we'll let the gate down and we can throw those up here. 16, 17, 18, 19. 26, 27, 29, 30, 91, 291. What? Wait, whose is that under the trailer there?
900 or something.
You got 291, and I got 483. How many I say that was? 783? 774. So we got 774 pieces altogether. Sonny, and we pretty much did that consistently, didn't we?
Yeah.
You just took a smoke break, and then I went and took a break just to get us something to drink.
Yeah.
And that was it, remember?
Yeah.
I went to get us something to drink.
It was about an hour.
Which I take breaks every now and then, but even taking breaks, that shows you that I can still push a pace more. And this is hardwood. This isn't real easy, is it? This is hardwood to split.
Yeah.
Could you tell the difference in this when it's green and when it's like that?
Oh, it's way harder.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
even
a
with
different.
That thing, it struggled at the
Yeah, even with the splitter, you had a hatchet, didn't you?
You had to stop for a second.
You had a hatchet.
Yeah, to get
See, Steve Wesolowski, he had his and he was splitting it, and he had to use a hatchet too. It's so stringy, you got to use a hatchet. All right, here's the load we're taking.
Have you seen a Snowball episode where it's Patrick
Sonny drove his vehicle over there, so we're going, his apartment's down the road. We're going there real quick. He's gonna drop his vehicle off, and then he's gonna get in here with me and Captain Carter over here. And then we're gonna head on to do this delivery. It's a guy that I've been delivering to for a long time, very friendly guy. All right, we're gonna pull back here and wait on him. The apartment's right over there. Oh, wait for him right here. Those are apartments, he lives in there, so. As you can see, that's a video I've been wanting to do for a long time. That wood is not one that was in my favor for that to prove a point that I've known for a long time. It makes sense for me to split by hand. It does not for everybody, I understand that. It doesn't make sense for me to use a splitter unless the wood's really tough. And that wood was really tough, but not tough enough to where it justified using a splitter for me. So, but when it gets really tough like that and the days are really hot, yeah, I think a splitter is actually what I prefer. But like today, it's a lot cooler than it was the last time I made a video on splitting that really tough white oak. It's like a different wood when it seasons. It's like the grain just compresses and interlocks, and it is tough. It's a whole different ball game. But anyways, 770 some pieces of wood is what we got on there, so I'm very happy with that. But we're taking that on now. That'll be a $300 run, and I'll update once we get it done and everything, Lord willing.
What?
All right, there's the money, 300. Sonny and Carter helped me, and then Kevin helped us. Kevin helped us too, so it went pretty quick. What do you think about it, Sonny?
It's awesome.
Hard work though, ain't it? We got it loaded quick at the state mill, didn't we?
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Just really loaded it.
When it's cooler, it's a lot easier, ain't it?
It is probably being off.
Yeah. Yeah, that wood splitter makes it a lot easier. Kevin's got a big black locust down out there. That's real good firewood. Probably got to run a cord in it. He's got beautiful property here.